What's up, everybody? Good morning. So I'm on my way for my business right now to go to an estimate, and so I wanted to make a video on my thought process as how I'm going to do this estimate and how estimates are basically done, because I've been making real good money running this business, writing these estimates, and this is not something that I've always known how to do. So there's two ways I go about it. This lady, she's got a fence that's down, she's got some painting, and she's got some faucets. Now, I have kind of like a daily minimum that I try and make, and that's from anywhere from $300 to $600 per day. I also have an hourly, which is about $100 per hour. And then on top of that, I just have the job in itself. I try and think like, a fence, what's the linear footage? A faucet, I usually charge like $120, $140 for those a piece. So I try to kind of have an idea in my mind of what I'm going to be charging before I even get there. So when I get there, I'm going to take measurements of the fence. I'm going to write all that down for a total linear footage. How long is the fence? Then I'll calculate the fence based on a number in my head per linear foot. So if it's 30, I'll times it by 30. If it's 40, I'll times it by 40. If it's 20 feet, 20 times 40, that's my price for the fence. Now for the faucets, again, I just looked up on Lowe's. What does Lowe's charge for a faucet install? They charge $100. So I think I'm going to do a little bit better than Lowe's, so I'm going to charge a little bit more. So I'm going to charge, $120, $140. And she's got two of those. So it's those two faucets plus the fence repair. And then on top of that, we got some painting and some door trim that she wants done. So I'm going to take a look at the door trim. I'm going to get like just a ballpark idea of how long that's going to take. And usually what I do for painting is, if it's a big job, I'll measure square footage. But if it's a smaller job, I mainly just go based off of time. How long do I think this job's going to take me, and what's a reasonable amount of time to bid by that? And I try to get close to 100 an hour, because that's just, money is ridiculous right now, y'all. It's like to try and, like, $20 an hour ain't cutting it. $18 an hour ain't cutting it. Like, you need more money. It's just the way it is. It's messed up, but it's just the way it is. So I'm going to go there. I'm going to take all these measurements, and then I'm going to put it into an estimate. I'm going to put her name on it, my name on it, the scope of work, put all that price into it. I'm going to send it to her. Now, what I like to do is when I send them an estimate, I usually send it to them, and then I call them immediately. I call them and I say, hey, this is me. I came to look at your property. I came to look at your job. And I usually try and sell them the job before I even give them the price, because I feel like the price is a big sales part. But another big part is just the scope. So if you can sell them on your scope and you can really get them interested in your scope, if you hit them with the price and the price is right, you got the job. If you hit them with the price, but they're worried about the scope, the price has less impact, because now they're worried, okay, well, what am I getting for that price? If you already have them up front, like, oh, this is the price I want, this is the price I like, and then you hit, this is the scope I want, this is the scope I like, then you hit them with that price, it's over, man. You're in, you're done. Because other people may have a good price, but they don't know the scope, okay? And so a lot of customers are not going to run back to those old people and ask them, what's the scope? Can you clarify? They're just going to see that you were thorough in the beginning and be like, oh, these other people should have been thorough. Why was he so thorough? And then they're going to give you the job. So I'm going to go take a look right now. Yeah, and then I might record another video just with how it went or whatever, but that's just a really simple, in my mindset, that's how you guys can go estimate jobs. Go there with the end in mind. What's my hourly? What is the basic rate for these services? And then go and try and manipulate the price to make it, more fair, because one price isn't going to fit everything. So, that's essentially it. I also always get a deposit. I don't start a job unless I get a deposit. I've been screwed many, many, many times, and it's been my fault every time. You get a deposit. Before you ever start any work, I get 50%. Sometimes I'll get 60 or 70%. It don't matter. I'm getting a deposit before I start so that I can cover my end, because even if the customer cancels everything and drops the whole ball, I'm good. I got paid. Maybe I have a little bit of money, but the materials are good. I didn't lose anything. That's the real trick. I always write a contract, I always get a deposit, and I always write an estimate that makes it fair for me. It's just as simple as that. I always show up early as possible. because it's less interaction with the customer. It's cooler out. I live in Texas, so the sun will beat you down into the earth, no problem. I like the heat, but it's intense. So I get there early as possible. Sometimes I'll be done by noon, paid out, and I make good money. So I'm just letting y'all know, if you want to start a business or you want to start getting on your own, no, it's not for everybody, but somebody's going to do it. Somebody's going to be making out real good. So if you need the wake-up call, it's time to wake up and go do your own stuff. Wake up. It's time to go do your own stuff. Simple as that. All right, man. Peace out.